Hey guys, welcome back to Mass Effect 2. So, I'm trying to figure out how to handle the side content in this game. Like, not the main side content, not the loyalty mission side content, not the DLC side content, but just like the really random planet side content. Not entirely sure how to handle it. Some of it's interesting, some of it's not interesting. But you have to hunt for it, which is not that big of a deal because I can just go to a wiki page and be like, that's the planets that have side content on them and just move to them. That's not a problem. I'm just trying to think of how to handle them. If you have specific ones that come to mind that you think are really cool, feel free to suggest them. One way of handling side content I'm thinking of doing is that because the main content of the game is so... it just demands your attention and has a ticking clock element to it and feels important and maybe at some point even has literal ticking clocks at times. This is the one game in the franchise that has a post game. So I might do the entire story and all the I might do the main story and all the companion stuff and so on and so forth and the DLC and then the ending. And then, after the ending, I might go back to the side content. That kind of feels like it might be a decent way of handling it, is doing all the random miscellaneous side missions after we finish the storyline with the Collector threat. Kind of makes more sense, too. In a way, it's like an intermission between the events of Mass Effect 2 and Mass Effect 3, where it's like, alright, the big threat's taken down. Now let's go around and wander around and, do my day job, basically. It would almost make, like, I almost wish that there was a post-game to the first game, like, after you take out Sovereign. It would be kind of cool if, like, you could just roam around and do all the side content afterwards, because it doesn't directly relate to the threat of Sovereign, and now that the ticking clock thing is out of the way, you can just be, like, you can go be your space police character. So I might do that this playthrough. I'm not entirely sure. I think you can do all the side content. I think you can do all of it after the main story's over, but I'm not entirely 100% sure, so I'll have to look into that more. But your input is welcome. So we have no current emails. Could look in on Jack. Yeah, actually, let's check in on Jack. Since she wants to talk to me according to our friend here, which means that whenever you get specifically told that somebody wants to talk to you, that means that they are triggering their loyalty mission. Likely means that Jack wants to talk to me about what she's finding on those files. I figure Ilium's the big, bad, crazy planet where stuff's gonna go down, in that there's just a ton of story elements that are all happening there simultaneously. But Jacob's side mission's somewhere else, and Jack's side mission, I believe, is also somewhere else, so maybe I can clean up both of those before I recruit new characters, so they don't get lost in the storm.
I got thoughts like little bugs crawling in and out of my head. I can't stop them. You know I have a history with Cerberus. You know how far back it goes?
I'll listen to anything you have to say, Jack.
Your pal, the elusive man? Never seen him before, but Cerberus raised me. First thing I remember is my cell door in a Cerberus base. They did experiments, drugged me, tortured me. Whatever chance I had to be normal, they stole it by trying to turn me into some superbiotic. The doctors, the other kids, every one of them hated me. They let me suffer.
What did they hope to gain by torturing a little girl?
It was something about pain breaking down mental barriers and how it might clear the way for a more biotic power. I'm sure there was a payoff due at some point, but I wasn't gonna see it. I was wired up in a cell.
They tortured you just to see if they could make a strong biotic? That's it?
Wasn't in a position to ask, Shepard. All I know is a little girl crying in a cell, begging for the pain to stop.
There were other children in the base?
I didn't know much about them. I was kept separate. They hated me just like everyone else there. When I broke out, I had to fight through them all. I showed them, but there's a loose end I need to deal with.
How did you get out of there?
There was some kind of emergency, and I made a break for it. The other kids came out of their cells and attacked me. So did the guards. I just killed everything in my way and ran. Guess my biotics had developed faster than they thought. I managed to get a shuttle off the ground. Drifted until a freighter picked me up. The crew used me, then sold me. That's my uplifting escape story.
You're absolutely certain that Cerberus was running the facility?
I was a kid, but I wasn't dumb. I know how to listen. It was Cerberus. Don't care how far down the chain it was. They thought they were so clever. Turns out, mess with someone's head enough and you can turn a scared kid into an all-powerful bitch. Fucking idiots.
I'm going to talk to the elusive man, and he'd better have some answers.
He'll just deny everything. That's not what I'm after anyway. I found the coordinates in your files. I want to go to the Telton facility on Pragia where they tortured and drugged me. I want to go to the center of the place, my cell. I want to deploy a big fucking bomb, and I want to watch from orbit when it goes.
Attacking our allies is going to derail our mission. Not a smart move.
The files say it was shut down after my escape. It's been abandoned for years. They going to care if I blow up a garbage dump?
Our mission is the priority. If we have time, we'll go there.
Don't wait too long. I need to do this soon. I need it.
Crap! I meant to press left. I was going to do the other. I didn't mean to pick that option. I meant to continue investigating. But of course we're going to do it. Of course we're going to do it, Jax. Even if I said the wrong thing for a second there. Just go to Pragia. Let's get to Pragia, and then maybe we'll zip back around and deal with Jacob's daddy issues afterwards. In a bit.
I hear that Rupert is actually cooking some good meals lately.
Yeah, right. That scunner couldn't serve a good haggis if his life depended on it.
But all haggis tastes like ass anyway.
Aye, but in the right hands, it can taste like mighty fine ass.
We learned two things. Well, mostly one thing. That Donnelly is an ass man. But also, I'm not entirely sure if Scunner... Because of the setting we're in, I can't tell if Scunner is a Mass Effect sci-fi wacky future term thing or if it's a Scottish term. Why am I in Sol System? Hi, Earth. How you doing? You doing good? Oh, I guess this is where they sent me after I blew up the last system I was in. That must be where they default you to when things go down. Dear Lord, the Crescent Nebula looks like a busy place. Yeah, we'll be getting to that. And we're gonna be there for a long time, so let's try to get some other stuff done first, perhaps. Whew! So, when I typed Scunner, I got a result on a website called Literal Barrage that has a particular series they apparently do called, Your Scottish Slang Word O' the Day. Scunner. To feel aversion, to produce a feeling of disgust or loathing in, a strong dislike, an object of dislike, a nuisance. So yes, it means exactly what you would guess based on context, but the important thing is that it is Scottish and not future space talk. So now I learned a thing, and I will now forget it, probably. Pragia. The jungle planet Pragia is overrun by choking overgrowth caused by industrially mutated plant species. This, combined with its relative isolation and lack of population, has made Pragia an occasional base of operations for drug runners, weapons smugglers, pirates, mercenaries, terrorists, and intelligence agents seeking secrecy. Sustained habitation on Pragia is extremely difficult, where mutant and even poisonous plant life can overgrow colonies in days instead of years. It would appear that Scunner is also a, It also appears to be a, what do you call it? A kaiju from Pacific Rim. Who would be good to bring to... I always want to bring somebody for story reasons, because I feel like I can just kind of finagle my way around any weaknesses in the party if I really need to, from difficulty perspectives. Thinking, who would care about a place where you're raised as a super creature in a lab? I mean, obviously, Grunt. Give us a chance to level him up, too. Since he's probably still level 0. I mean, by what you mean unspent points. I'm gonna wait one more point to max out Defender, I think, next. Wow, I already have Power Armor and Heavy Reeve maxed out. Making progress. Okay. So he gets Concussive Shot, Incendiary Ammo, Krogan Berserker. That's a big old chunk of health right there. Whoa. He gets health fast. Then weapon damage and health regeneration. Oh, 40 points per second of health. That's a lot of bonus health regeneration. Admittedly, health regen and all forms of regen are way faster in this game than they were in previous games, so it's not completely crazy. Fortification, though. Look at that. Reinforces armor with non-Newtonian fluid that hardens when struck, providing a brief, huge bonus. 25% of max shields, 50 all the way up to 100. Honestly, it's similar to what I already have. His fortifications is like my tech barrier, basically. Let's just go ahead and go straight down Krogan Berserker immediately. Let's see. Krogan Pureblood. Grants mastery of his blood rage, increases his already fantastic regeneration rate, letting him survive wounds that would kill other Krogan. Or, Grunt can go Berserk without losing his lethal focus, increasing his weapon damage. So, a bit more health regen or a bit more weapon damage. That's a lot of weapon damage, right? That's a pretty big chunk of weapon. I think I'm gonna go for the weapon damage. Boom. That'll give him a lot of health, huh? Yeah. That'll be interesting. Okay. Let's unlock incendiary ammo. But I can't afford to go all the way down, unfortunately, but it's a good start. I would love to get to the next rank, which should be only 1 or 2 levels away. I forget if we're at 1 or 2 points per level for our companions at this point or not. But I would like to get squad incendiary ammo. I like to get squad versions of all the ammo types because it helps the entire party deal more damage, and I think that's a worthwhile pursuit. Subject 0. So I can go further down pole or just max out Subject 0 right now. Ooh, better recharge time. Yes. Yeah, weapon damage doesn't hurt, but yeah, the more I can reduce the recharge time on her powers, the more she can use Shockwave a lot. That's really why I keep her around.
I forgot how much I hate this place. See the landing pad? Has to be on the roof, or the vegetation would overgrow it in a few hours.
Shepard, I am picking up thermal signatures everywhere, except at your landing zone.
Something's distorting the sensors.
Yeah, they build their equipment to last. Assholes. It was a mistake coming back here, Shepard.
When we start a mission, we finish it.
Yeah, okay. Let's get on the ground.
Well, there's a new one. Jack's apprehensive about this. She doesn't want to be here, even though it's her own mission, and she was her big thing. The moment she's actually starting to show up, she gets cold feet.
Plant the bomb in myself. I want to watch this place burn.
It means this place hurt her. Right. Let's turn on incendiary ammo, map, concussive shot. There we go.
I never saw this room. I think they brought new kids in these containers. They were messed up and starving, but alive. Usually.
That's distressing. Way to go, Cerberus. You ship children inside of shipping containers where some of them starve to death. A+. Human's right advocate right there. Yeah, so whatever, no matter how you cut it, and no matter what he accomplishes, the elusive man is, at the end of the day, a downright terrible human being that allows terrible things to happen under his own watch in the organization that he controls. And he just turns a blind eye to it so he can pretend to have plausible deniability, but that's not how that works. That's not how plausible deniability works. You can't have plausible deniability this many times and pretend that you're not responsible for, at the end of the day, for all the things that ultimately happen in your organization. Because the only reason he doesn't know about these things is his own fault, usually. Intentional.
The elusive man requested operation logs again. He's getting suspicious.
When we get results, he won't care what we did. But if he knew...
He won't find out. The elusive man requested operation logs again.
Yeah.
Around behind the elusive man's back.
He didn't say what they were hiding from the elusive man.
Yeah. It doesn't work that way.
I remember escaping to this fighting here. I saw sunlight through the cracks in the ceiling. Only a half-dead guard between me and freedom. He was begging for his life.
The issue with the elusive man is when he finds out that horrible things are happening in his company, he makes no effort to make the future events in his company more obvious and more transparent. He never seems to make any move towards noticing next time. He's like, oh, I didn't know about that. That's tragic. And then he just continues on the same way he did before. Because I like to assume that he probably just does actually know the whole time, and he just likes to pretend he doesn't and avoid any evidence that he knows, so he can always have plausible deniability. But even if he doesn't genuinely know, that's incompetence, like criminal neglect amounts of incompetence. How little he follows up on his own company so consistently. Let's see. So this is just an abandoned place. So I'd guess Varen. Is that the sound I heard? Yep. Fly! I figured that was the sound I was hearing. Whenever you go through an abandoned area, there's either going to be a sudden and surprising appearance of some group you never thought was going to be there, oftentimes mercenaries or something, or it'll be Varen.
This looks like an arena.
That's right. They used to stage fights here, pit me against other kids. I loved it. Only time I was ever out of my cell.
What were they studying?
Hell if I know. Maybe that's how they got their kicks. I never understood anything that happened here.
How often did they do this?
I was in a cell my whole life. Sometimes they took me out and made me fight. Filled me with drugs, other stuff. Time gets funny in a cell.
Did other children die in these fights?
I was a kid, filled with drugs. I got shocked when I hesitated. Narcotics flooded my veins when I attacked.
What the hell was wrong with those people?
I don't know. Doesn't matter now.
They actually rewarded you for attacking.
I still get warm feelings during a fight.
Let's keep moving.
Hell yes.
That's pretty fucked up. They did positive conditioning for kills, basically. Am I walking through this? Yes, I am. I was like, for a second there, I'm like, what happened? What happened? I'm like, I didn't bump into that thing like I thought I was going to. So, made a bunch of kids fight each other, drugged them up so that every time they fight each other they feel good about it, to encourage basically guarantee through conditioning a future of violence.
Security Officer Zimkel, Telton facility. The subjects are out of their cells. They're tearing the place up. Subject Zero is going to get loose. I need permission to terminate. I repeat, permission to terminate. All subjects besides Zero are expendable. Keep Jack alive. Understood. I'll begin to...
That's not right. I broke out when my guards disappeared. I started that riot.
Things might have happened that you didn't see.
The other kids attacked me, the guards attacked me, the automated systems attacked me. That doesn't leave lots of room for interpretation.
What's going on, Jack? Does it turn out that somebody who escaped that was completely filled with drugs may have, had a warped
This
version?
place is supposed to be empty. Who the fuck shot that Baron? It's a fresh kill.
That is important, actually. Yeah, could it be that maybe she's misremembering things because of all the drugs? Or she has, like, mental issues where maybe she was hallucinating? What if this was a completely above board awesome place and she hallucinated the part where she was abused? I don't know, we'll see. Either way, even if this turns out to be an amazing place, freaking elusive man has turned the other way too many times, too many of the other things we've already seen, and we're only like halfway through this game. Hey. Oh, hi, how you doing? Oh, cool, blood pack. They seem nice. You just say try a real man's weapon as you were dying? How's that working out for you? Ow! Okay, you got me. Oh right, my armor's not on. Gotta remember that. Oh, 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 oh. Got him? Got him? So the blood pack is taking over this facility. Whoa. That sounded terrible. But some sort of sound was oscillating in the craziest way, and it was not a happy ear moment for me.
Why'd they need a morgue? This was a small facility.
The other children must have died in great numbers. Even then, they were a part of the experiment.
Bullshit. I had the worst of it, and I made it out alive.
Okay, well that part you can't stand by, Jack. Like, oh, well, only I had it bad. Nobody else could have possibly had it bad. It couldn't have been everybody that had it bad. Why? That's a weirdly specific thing to latch onto. Especially since she was just talking about how, like, people were shipped across all over the place and they would usually live. Like, that immediately speaks to the idea that everyone else was being abused on some level. Can I go up there? Alright, it was blocked on that side too. Guess I'll see. Where's the other battery? There we go. There's the C. Horizontal. Gotcha. Evorcha.
So strange to be back here. I feel like I'm pissed off. I'm a dangerous bitch, but then I'm a little girl again. Shit. It's complicated. Let's just go plant that bomb.
Evorcha, how does it feel to be this game's cannon fodder enemy? Because they couldn't fill the game with Geth again, so they had to fill it with you. Like, we need a race of really shitty, violent people. For whenever we can't always come up with excuses to have a ton of mercenaries around, or another place full of cybernetic enemies. They don't like to have they're not big fans of low combat missions, so they usually find some excuse to bring in enemies, and introducing all of those gangs at the beginning of the playthrough via the mandatory Archangel storyline is one way to set that up for the rest of the game. It's cool how there's more variety, because the first game was pretty much just fighting Geth everywhere. And now instead of fighting Geth... I should check the cells to see if there's weird loot in them. Now instead of fighting Geth on every single planet, you fight a variety of other things. So you have humanoid enemies, you fight most of the humanoid aliens, you fight Varen, you fight machine robots that are usually going crazy or something. And we've even had one DLC where we fought Geth. Bit more variety to add to the pile, and then of course main story missions have collectors.
My cell is on the other side. I could see all the other kids out here. I screamed at them for hours, and they always ignored me.
Oh no. So this is her cell. It was a two-way mirror, so nobody could see that she was in there, but she always could see out of it, and she thought they could see her. She thought everyone was ignoring her on purpose. And she was just left alone while everyone else was probably playing out here. So they just wanted to make a resentful, angry person just because they could.
Must have come through here when I broke out, but I don't remember it. This is a bad place.
Yeah, that kind of chair is usually not the best of signs for most people, I'd say.
Entry 1054, Telton facility. The latest iteration of Pergnum went poorly. Subjects 1, 4, and 6 died. No biotic change among the survivors. We lowered core temperatures of surviving subjects, but no biotically beneficial reactions occurred. As a side effect, all subjects died. So we'll not try that on Zero. I hope our supply of biotic potential subjects holds up. We are going through them fast.
This is bullshit. They weren't experimenting on the other children for my safety.
You can't help what they did to others.
You don't get it, Shepard. I survived this place because I was tougher than the rest. That's who I am.
You move on. Harder and tougher.
So that's exceptionally fucked up. It explains why they were successful at making her such a powerful biotic, because they were doing incredibly dangerous tests on other people and seeing which ones would make them more powerful without killing them. Then after that test, when they were absolutely sure, they would then use it on Jack, and that's why she's alive. But that's a hell of a time. That is one hell of a time. Where's the blue? Blue-orange? Come to me. Come to me. There you are. So now she gets to live with the guilt of what might be hundreds of dead children being the reason for her powers. You know, just to make her life worse.
It's all fallen to pieces. The subjects are rampaging and Zero is loose. We're shutting Kelton down. What a disaster. We'll infiltrate and piggyback onto the Alliance's Ascension program. Hopefully, that will give... What? Zero, wait!
Shepard, they started up somewhere else.
Ascension is an Alliance program. It's a school for biotic kids. They don't torture children there.
A lot of this isn't the way I remember it.
You couldn't have known.
Maybe. We're getting close to my cell, the place I came from. Let's keep going.
Where are we going next? Got a little turn around. There we go. I think this is the new direction. That was a very recognizable voice actor on those recordings, by the way.
Hey, Aresh. It's Kieran. Yeah, the intruders are here. You want them dead? We have to talk credits. You promised us lots of salvage, but this place is a waste. Fine, put them down. Then I'm coming in there and we're gonna talk salvage.
What are you doing here?
First we're gonna kill you, then we'll see. Kill them on my order. I want them dead. It's about to go on.
I don't think they want to play nice. Just a vague idea. I gotta say, consistently, Grunt never sounds like what I think his voice is gonna sound like in the game. I'm too conditioned by Rex for what a Krogan's gonna sound like. And that's absolutely not what Grunt sounds like. Which is intentional, I think. I think he's generally supposed to not quite sound what you'd expect. His voice never quite fits, but everything about his character never quite fits with anything. Because he's such a weird anomaly. I can't help but get the feeling from Jack's storyline that they did the storyline for, like, for Kaiden. I still always forget which way to pronounce it. He keeps sticking his head out over and over again. Look at him go. Oh, he's baiting my powers is what he's doing. Are they all doing that? Well, that one's sticking out longer. Oh, he got hit, though.
On it. You'll bleed. On the ground, now!
He just doesn't stick out for more than a moment, so you can't target him directly with powers. What a weird view. I'm gonna try to flank him, see if they move around a little bit. But it feels like they looked at Kaiden's story and they're like, oh, not tragic enough. He was at some camp, and he got mistreated as a child by some Turian, and he accidentally killed someone. There's Kaiden's tragic backstory. So with Jack, they were like, well, she's the product of hundreds of dead children, and she was tortured physically and emotionally. And she's been made into a super-duper soldier that's better than everyone in the entire world. It's completely just upscaling all of it. And she also killed the people who trained her. And maybe everyone else. And now she's gonna blow up the whole building, too. After she turns into a super crazy space pirate covered in super tattoos. It's like...
Only room left is my old cell. Whoever Aresh is, he's in there. I want to plant the bomb there anyway. Might as well do it on his corpse.
It feels like a direct response because in the past, famously, Ashley and Kaiden are usually known as being the two more boring cast members of the first game. And I can't but wonder if maybe, I don't know, maybe even Miranda and Jack are both perhaps responses to that. I wonder. I don't know, it's hard to say if anyone's supposed to be an attempt to fix Ashley. But it definitely feels like Jack is an attempt to redo, but hype up and exaggerate and try to make more interesting the Kaiden's backstory. Because there's just a lot of parallels between how they handled both biotic characters.
Come out. We know you're here.
Who are you?
My name is Aresh. And you're breaking into my home. I know you, Subject Zero. So many years have passed. and I thought I was the only survivor.
My name is Jack. How the hell do you know me?
We all knew your face, Jack. They inflicted horrors on us so their experiments wouldn't kill you. You were the question, and I'm still looking for the answer.
Looks like you're not the only one pulled back here, Jack.
I tried to forget this, but a place like this, it doesn't forget you. It follows you. I hired these mercs and came back almost a solar year ago. We're rebuilding it piece by piece. I'm gonna find out what they knew, how to unlock true biotic potential in humans. I'm restarting the Telton facility. It will be beautiful.
I wanted a hole in the ground. He's trying to justify what happened by using it?
This place was like a prison. How'd you get out?
We all attacked at once as they were taking us to the lab. They would have put us down, but then Jack got loose. When I came to, it was over. The guards, the scientists, and the kids were all dead. And you were gone.
I stopped it. All of it. Maybe the others did have it bad, but what you're doing is just messed.
Everything we went through must have been worth something.
You do the same thing to new kids. Wasn't this forced on you?
Some were bought from poor families on Earth or kidnapped from colonies. Most ended up here the way I did. Batarian pirates. They did such horrible things to us. They must have had good reasons.
There's no reason good enough. Are you nuts? You lived it.
We can blow up the place, but that still leaves him. What do we do with another you?
That's easy.
Just leave me here. This is where I belong.
Fuck that.
Jack, he's trapped in his past. You need to move on from yours.
He wants to restart this place. He needs to die.
He's crazy and he's never gonna restart this facility. You have to let it go. Your past doesn't have to control you.
Fuck! Get out of here. Go! He's not worth chasing. None of it is.
You did the right thing, Jack.
Maybe. This room was my whole childhood. Give me a minute to look around.
Go ahead.
Nothing's changed, but it's all different.
It's a great reaction. Just fuck. That's dark. So they're both dealing with loss. They're both trying to figure out how to reconcile what happened to them. Jack's done it mostly with anger and, I don't know, fucking her way across the galaxy, basically, and whatever she feels like, and just constant spur of the moment, end of the world mentality. He's tried to come back and restart everything because he can't accept the idea that this happened for bad reasons. It all had to be for some greater good because it was too awful. And that's a common enough human reaction to just think that something had to happen for a reason in order to try to make sense of the horribleness of it all. Pretty awful what happened, though. And it's pretty hard to reconcile anything that happened here.
I thought that room out there was the rest of the world. I'd pound and yell. It never did any good. Sometimes I dream that I'm back in this bed being tortured. I used to tie the sheets around my wrists and try to rip them off. I want to stop coming back here. I used this table for everything. It was like my best friend. I'd crawl under it to cry. I was pathetic.
So that guy's gonna be dead, right? Just guessing. We didn't take him with us. He just ran off, and we're gonna blow this whole place up. I think he's just gonna die in the explosion, probably.
See the scarring on the wall here? That's where I killed my first man. One of the guards tried to stop me. Instead, I stopped him. Okay, no more wallowing. Let's blow this place to hell.
Well, it's done, one way or another. Warp ammo. Transforms absorbed biotic energy into heavier damage against health, armor, and biotic barriers. So warp effect on your armor, it's on your actual ammo. And we got ourselves a biotic damage upgrade, which is good. Very good news, even. An important request. Mr. Ganek Ejhal, Esquire. Dear Sir or Madame, having consulted with my colleagues at the Citadel, I have the privilege to request for your assistance to transfer a large quantity of Prothean technology uncovered in Ilos. Believing these materials to be a hazardous danger, they were locked in quarantine. Even though the tests revealed that the fears were groundless, the quarantine remains in effect until one can pay for a permit to request a reclassification from Cultural Ministry. Knowing of your interest in Prothean technology, I would be happy to deliver most of it into your hands, keeping less than half for myself. As a Batarian, I cannot engage in Council official activities, but if you transfer the 20,000 credits required to me, this exchange could be made in your name, enabling us both to profits from this happy accident. Please scam. How's the new costume going? There she is. Boom! She's wearing clothes now, shockingly. Surprise! She has clothes. Any follow-up, Jack, now with clothes?
I needed to wipe that place off the map. You took me there to do it, and I owe you. You don't know what it's like, Shepard, to have garbage like that following you. It marks you in ways you don't expect.
I've made a lot of hard choices, Jack. Like what to let go.
Hard to walk away from it. You'd think it would get easier now that the place is a crater. But what else do I know?
I never thought I'd see you show mercy, but you let Aresh live.
He was trapped in the past, reliving it every day. You showed how that could be me. I'm not getting stuck like that. I'm better than him, and I'm sure as hell not carrying that crater around with me.
Do you think you're different now?
I know that place is gone. But I still kind of want to kill every person I see. No offense.
I'll take what I can get with you, Jack.
You did a lot, Shepard. Shit. I'm not good at this soft stuff. Just... thanks, okay? Let's get back to work.
That kind of general reaction kind of feels like it's missing from Shepard, actually. Especially with the events of what just happened, where, you know, I pulled the trigger on killing 300,000 people, no matter what the reason was.
So, Kenneth, did you know we've got a crazy woman squatting down in the subdeck?
What? If she touches anything, I'll kill her.
Oh, and the only thing she wears from her waist up is tattoos.
Oh, maybe I should go down and welcome her aboard.
And she's a murderer, has biotic powers that could crush you with a blink, hates everyone in Cerberus.
Damn it, girl, stop toying with me.
Okay, she was practicing that one for a long time. The exact order in which to reveal those facts for torture. Well, they finally noticed, I suppose. But the fact that I killed 300,000 people, you think would leave some emotional toll, but rather unaffected at the moment. We're just kind of continuing on business as usual. Alright, Jacob, you boring bastard. 2175A, yeah, okay. Even your mission sends us to a place that's predominantly identified by a number. Named after an Asari scientist, an Asari scientist named 2175, this remote planet appears to have been on the list of forbidden mass relays that led to uncharted space. The little data available comes from one far-off probe flyby that reports 2 planets orbiting a white dwarf star. Your own scans yield far more interesting results. The planet is within the habitable north zone of the star. It has oceans of liquid water and a thin nitrogen-oxygen atmosphere consistent with carbon-based plant life. It is possible that an as-of-yet unexplored garden world... I mean, it's possible that it is one, not that it just doing everything wrong here. It's fine. It's fine.
Launching probe.
It's actually very, yeah, it's very Earth-like. Whoa! That's a spike. Why, yes, I will. Oh, that was a lot of it, apparently. Yeah, went down really fast.
Probe launched.
Holy crap. Yeah, these are resources to be had, huh? Wow, really localized spikes, too.
Launching probe.
Nice. I'll grab them when I can, right? Right around there's the spot. Oh yeah, there's the spike.
Probe away.
Get that platinum back up. Gotta be able to. Oh my goodness. This is an incredibly rich planet, and I'm robbing it of all of its resources. You're starting to hear it now. Let's move on now. Oh, there's a big spike too.
In research projects, Element Zero is used for bioamp and omni-tool upgrades, which allow squad members who have biotic and tech powers to be much more effective.
That was weird. It told me about Ezo instead of telling me about the signal place that I just scanned. Just kind of skipped on that detail.
Probe launched.
I'll grab this too real quick. Let's close the scanner and land. Alright, who should I take with Jacob? Of all these characters, let's make it a good old Jacob and Miranda mission. They'll be there for each other, right? 5 points. Nice. So I can go further down Defender now. Really? Bonus Paragon and Renegade? Also better wow. Variety of effects, actually. So this gives you... It finishes the multiplier of the Paragon Renegade thing by taking it all the way up to 100%. Weird stat. It's so weird that's treated like a stat. I don't know if I agree with that entire concept. It should just be based on what decisions you make and nothing else. It gives you more health and power recharge time, whereas this one gives you more power damage, but nothing else? Yeah. 15% power damage would be nice, but having more survivability and being able to use powers more frequently is great. Because this is the character that needs to turn on their power armor every time it gets deactivated, use Unity whenever a party member goes down, and also be able to use attack powers, so the faster the recharge time is reduced, the better. And then just as a weird side effect, I'm gonna have more Paragon and Renegade meter now. Weird detail. Yeah, I'd call that a weird detail. Let's, actually give you rank 3 of both. That's not bad. Hello, Jacob. Same with you, I think.
Life signs, but there may be useful technology or information still inside.
Bye, shuttle. Oh, I lost it already. That's a cool detail that you can actually see it taking off like that. Oop. Invisible wall. Go, 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 go.
There it is.
Powers mapped. You have pull. I'll activate the incendiary ammo. Have I used him since, like, the first mission? I don't know.
And mostly intact. They could have survived impact, but it's been years.
So his dad crashed here some time ago.
Looks like he was stripped after the crash. They'd have tried to get a beacon up as soon as possible.
So they crashed here. There were survivors. The place was stripped down, and they used the parts for various things. And that's a hologram, so that's concerning. So it seems like they may have been alive recently.
Along with us anymore. We've done horrible things to the crew. The conditions they're in, they don't understand what we're doing to them. Distract them for 2 seconds and they forget what you did before the bruises show. It's got to stop. I'm talking to the others as soon as...
That's an odd detail. You gonna hurt the crew members and they forget you did it?
Danger of rapid neural decay. Local flora chemically incompatible with human physiology. Override. Beacon resumed. Pause time 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours.
From the look of it, this beacon's been here a while. Why would they wait years to signal?
Pause in beacon protocol. 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours. Pause is recorded as record deleted by acting captain Ronald Taylor.
That's not right. My father was first officer.
Ronald Taylor was promoted under emergency command protocols. Other flagged issues: unsafe deceleration, local food and neural decay, beacon activation protocols.
Local food impairs brain functions? What are the effects?
Impairment of mental function due to chemical imbalance begins within 7 days of ingesting local flora, regardless of decontamination or preparation. Impact on higher cognitive abilities and long-term memory is cumulative, but significant within a standard month. It is not known if neural decay is permanent. Data collection was not completed.
Why wasn't the beacon activated before now?
This emergency beacon became functional after 358 days, 12 hours, following the unscheduled suborbital descent of the Hugo Gernsback. Activation was triggered remotely after 8 years, 237 days, 7 hours, on the authority of Acting Captain Ronald Taylor. Pause in beacon protocol is recorded as record deleted.
Who is in command of this ship? Where are the survivors?
Captain Harris Fairchild reported killed following unscheduled suborbital descent. First Officer Ronald Taylor promoted in-field to acting captain.
But where is he now?
The location of the remaining crew of the Hugo Gernsback is unknown. This beacon has been unattended for several maintenance cycles.
I assume unsafe deceleration refers to the crash. Give me the details.
Following an unspecified impact and sublight drive failure, the Hugo Gernsback made an unscheduled descent at 465% of theoretical recommended suborbital velocity. The Hugo Gernsback then decelerated at 782% of theoretical recommended approach velocity, sustaining significant damage to investment and crew.
Come on, let's get going.
Let's check the ship. My father had the beacon for almost 9 years. Maybe that neural decay affected him.
Avoiding it for a decade seems unlikely.
Yeah, hard to avoid if it's apparently all the food. Maybe some people had local stores from the ship, because the ship would have had some food supplies on it. What if they had some... Oh, that's probably what happened back there, because they talked about how some people are just totally lost at this point, but he was coming from the perspective of somebody who seems to be totally aware of himself, which seems to suggest that some people were getting food off the ship and other people were being forced to eat the planet's food because they didn't have enough ship food.
You came from the sky? The leader said someone would come. He delayed for so long, but he still has power. Some have lost faith. The hunters. They will have seen your star. They will not let you help him.
What are you talking about? You're not making sense.
I don't remember how to say it. He's our leader and we serve so we can go home. But some want to fight him. They were cast out. He exiled them, so they hunt his machines and those who help him. They don't believe that rescue will come.
Watch out!
Hunters, they won't stop until the leader is dead.
Kill them! Agents of the liar! He will not escape!
Enemies in front!
You seem nice. Real nice, even. Can't wait. Just gonna do a little bit of that real quick, if you don't mind. I'm sure it feels good. Ooh, the incendiary ammo. Ooh. Ooh, that's a good mix. I like that. How many of them can there be, honestly? We get here right when they start fighting? Oh, who's... Oh, hi. Where the hell? What? Where did you come from? What? What? He's just right there next to me. That was a weird moment. That was a weird moment for all of us, I think. Let's get that armor on. Where did... What? Where'd that body just come from? That guy was just up in the... Oh, he probably got lifted in the air. Just a weird sight to see him falling from the sky like that. I'm getting some serious, the 100 vibes here. You come from Sky
That wasn't
Crew?
neural decay. They were feral.
My father wouldn't let this go on. Something is very wrong.
I completely unironically love that show, even though it's probably kind of garbage, I'm almost certain. but I kind of love it. The 100 is so entertaining for some reason.
You killed them, but there are more every day. They want to fight, but I just want to go home.
She's lost it. We need to find someone who can make sense of this.
I mean, you say that. You say there's more every day, but like also there can't be more every day because you all came off of a ship and you're all humans, so like you age in normal periods and you reproduce at normal time. Like even if you had kids immediately, they'd be like 10 years old or something. I forgot how long ago the drop was. Was it 10 years? So, like, people have to be dying. They're gonna just run out of people sooner or later. Kind of surprised that there's enough for them to just throw a whole battalion at us like that. So we talked about checking out the ship.
She even threatened to report if I didn't start sending messages. Now she's so innocent. They all are. That look she gives when she smiles. It's sure easier now. What's the harm? We're stuck here.
There's something tragic about the idea of them surviving for like 10 years and slowly decaying as the food takes their minds away and they all lose it. And then finally I show up and just start shooting some of them. It's like, all that build-up, all that surviving, just so I can kill like 10 of them in a gunfight the moment I get here.
Crash, you can't expect the luxury of due process, but this isn't a military ship. Just bumping the command line up a notch doesn't work. Captain Fairchild knew this crew. His replacement doesn't command the same level of respect. I'm hoping the man has it in him, but I don't. What was her name? Sarah? Suzanne? My God, I can't remember her face. We need to get out. So I can remember, can think straight. They have to hurry.
Okay, that monologue sounds like the cold open to an episode of Doctor Who. Where somebody's got a brain thing going on. Maybe the monsters are stealing their memories or something. And then like, we need somebody. We need a doctor. And they're like, da-da-da-dun, 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 and then the show starts, and you find out what the hell the monologue was about over the course of the episode. Apparently this is the episode where I talk about various sci-fi shows at random. All of which are of varying quality, but entertaining. Honestly, I can get by on some pretty schlocky sci-fi if it's at least fun, which is usually not that hard to do, but some people manage to not be fun, alarmingly.
Strip for parts. Tech's wearing out. Those hunters must be laying on the pressure.
So people's brains are decaying, but they can still deal with those things?
They better be friendlier than the beach group. I need answers.
Hey, we just killed your friends and your family. No big deal. And you want to have a chat?
They're clearly docile, but in the same uniform remnants as those who attacked us.
There aren't any men here. Maybe it affects genders differently? Makes males get violent.
Possibly. But the woman on the beach said the exiled ones came back as hunters.
It doesn't matter right now. One of these people must know what my father has to do with this.
You have his face. He promised to call the sky, but he sends nothing.
He forced us to eat, to decay. You are cursed with his face.
Not the best reaction to the family resemblance, Jacob.
Why would my father force his crew to eat toxic food? Whatever's happening here needs to stop.
Concerning. Immediately.
Look at these spoiled food stores. They've been eating only that toxic local food for who knows how long. Like that wasn't obvious enough.
I can't talk to you. I don't want punishing. He has a cruel face. His cruel face.
Go away. You are like him. You will keep us here.
He keeps us, protects us, and we please him like he demands.
What the hell? Somebody had to push them to make that. That's borderline worship.
Yeah. Yep, that's a straight-up effigy of some kind. And is your dad keeping sex slaves around? Is that what's happening? Mentally handicapped sex slaves? Is that how your dad does? That's concerning. Are you related to Cosby? Is that... Do like, they're drugged, basically. Oh, God. They're basically literally drugged. Like, this is actually really alarming. That's a really... It's a really unfortunate implication that just happened there. Ow, by the way.
Patrols like that are a little much against this bunch.
Well, that would make them hate him. But maybe it was just for defense.
Okay, a lot of active gunfire happening on this planet. That's apparently where everyone's been surviving for 10 years. Is this just the day where everyone was scheduled to die?
Please, here. You could end it. You have his face. But you fight his machines. You might stop this. This, I forget how to read. But this was the start. What he promised, and what they did to us. We need the sky. Take us back to the sky.
Jacob, what does it say?
It's a crew logbook. Some of them thought the beacon repair was taking too long. They were afraid they'd run out of supplies and lose their minds to the decay. My father restricted the ship food for himself and the other officers so they wouldn't be affected. Everybody else had to eat the toxic food and hope for treatment later. The rest is a casualty list. A few mutinied over the decision. My father and his officers turned the mechs on them.
The beacon was fixed after a year, so the plan must have worked. Why no signal?
Those weren't the last entries on the casualty list. More incidents, harsh punishments. It's like they're cattle, or toys. In a year, all the male crew members are flagged as exiled or dead. They separated out the women, assigned them to officers, like pets. And after the beacon is fixed, the officers appear in the casualties too. After. My father took control and didn't stop it.
Anything in there about whether the effects of the toxic food can be treated?
Nothing. But it seems like the right call. If everyone gets it, who's left to fix the beacon? You'd never get out. But they did fix it. And the signal wasn't sent until now. I'm starting to see why.
Does it say why he separated the men and women? Or is it as bad as it seems?
No, it turns to gibberish. Maybe the men got violent early on, but from the state of this place, I'd say the Hunter thing is recent. What he allowed here, Shepard? I don't see any justification.
We haven't seen any other officers. He killed them?
There were 5 after the crash. Medical, engineering, bridge staff. Should have had no problem fixing the beacon and keeping people safe. All killed within the same week. About a month after the beacon was repaired.
It's looking like he only activated the beacon because the men have come back ready to fight.
He let this happen, and now it's biting him in the ass. 9 years. Why didn't he set it right? I need to find this man.
Yeah, things are looking pretty bad. We might have to arrest your father for really shitty human rights crimes. Well, this is a new one. Well, that's all 4 of them. Okay, so let's look for the horizontal one. There you are. Battery. Oh, shit. The battery's in here, isn't it? I briefly convinced myself that all 4 of them were up there. Whoops. Gotta pay attention. Guys, get away from it. Oh, guys, get away from it. Guys. Alright, we're good. Do they both have low health right now?
Thank God you're here. My crew went insane. I only just got free.
God damn it. It's really him. Just got free. He's covering his ass.
The old corpse has been posed, like a warning. The new ones were left where they fell.
The hunters started fighting back.
Definitely Lord of the Flies territory going on around here. Oh. Interesting how he seems to be asking for help, but we're still getting shot to death as we walk in.
After the crew turned violent, they keep attacking. I had no choice.
Rerouting power. Rerouting power.
Camera's doing some weird things today. We'll figure it out though. It's almost like it's having trouble tracking my character when I'm in cover around here. Oh, not quite. Well, it's a good time to have Miranda around. Jacob doesn't have overload, right? Nope. Anyone else? Oh yeah, they're everywhere. That'll hurt. Ooh. That was a nasty combo, wasn't it? Okay, that hurts. I need to get behind cover. Ah, crap. There was so much cover facing the wrong way. I got myself into a bad spot there. Overload. Gotcha. Oh, look at it. It's crawling. There's a weird sight. Anyone behind me right now? Nope. Don't really want neighbors right now. We're good. Whoa, look at that go. That's sounding for a fun time. Right, yeah, pull. I briefly thought that he would have concussive shot, which was much less fitting for the situation.
They keep them busy, distracted, but it's getting dangerous. Thank God you've come.
He had his fun, and now he wants out. Son of a bitch.
Okay, now Jacob's laying it on really thick, which makes me think that they're setting up for a twist. So we'll see if he's actually got some... Maybe it's all a giant misunderstanding. I admit it, I genuinely don't remember this mission very well, so I don't even know. But it sure doesn't look good so far, based on literally every piece of evidence, and there's been a lot of evidence already. I mean, this entire mission's been almost like a perfect dotted line of awfully convenient evidence all lined up in a row together, so we know exactly what's going on here. I love how fast my recharge time is on my powers right now. Hi there. Oh, that's a problem.
Going now.
Oh, Jacob, already?
You got it. You bet.
Stay close. Got it.
I'm trying to make them use powers.
Throwing people away. This thing is not my father.
I keep trying to use my teammates' powers and I'm sending them charging forward. I'm like, no, stop! Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Ow, also. Nope, she's down. Gonna have to wait that one out. No, you're supposed to be behind cover. Why are you standing? We could try a singularity projector. I don't see it working on the big guy, but I could try it. Okay, that hurt. Reeve, come on, cast it. Cast it. Damn it. I didn't want to get out of cover. Like that. Boom. He'll probably be fine, right? No? Not so much? Ooh, that's fun. That's fun. Oh no, I'm trying to trigger your attack, damn it. Are those humans over there? They are humans. I know, just the thing.
Easy enough.
That's not how cover works, dude. Ow. No, not there. Get behind the cover. Sorry. Not so sorry. Oh, look at you. You took those headshots really well.
Enough with the toys. I need to look my father in the eye here to justify this.
It is a weird setup that he's begging for help and all of his machines are attacking us, but then you could be like, oh, they're runaway machines. But then the guards are also attacking us, and that's where it gets way weirder. That even the guards are fighting us still. Seems like he may not want to rescue. Or absolutely everything mutinied against him. Already grabbed that one. Ronald Taylor.
You're here. I knew a real squad would blow through just fine. Sorry if the mech scuffed your pads. I'll get you something nice when we get back to Alliance space. I've got to have some back pay coming.
What about your crew, acting captain?
Total loss. The toxic food turned them wild. They propped me up here in some kind of ritual behavior. Waiting for a chance to signal has been hell.
That's the best you can do?
You let all your people talk back like that? Who are you exactly?
You're getting that Jacob stink eye is what's happening right now. And also I'm researching your character real quick because I think it's the voice actor that plays Lee Everett. Yep, that's Dave Fennoy. There we go. That's Lee from Walking Dead. I'm like, I know that voice actor. Yeah, oh, this will be fun.
Commander Shepard of the Normandy. I believe you are acquainted with Mr. Taylor.
Taylor? Jacob? No. Not Jacob.
Why not me? Would 10 years of this look better to anyone else in the galaxy?
You have to understand, this isn't me. The realities of command, they change you. I wasn't ready for that. I made sure you were taught right. Before I left, I hoped to leave it at that.
God damn, Dave Fennoy, you are in absolutely everything, aren't you? This game came out before Walking Dead, so he wasn't on my radar at all yet. I keep finding him everywhere. Even in this year. He was even in Final Fantasy 15. How is he working all the time? Holy crap. Prolific. In fact, this screen currently contains 2 very prolific video game voice actors.
I'm not biting, Captain. At some point, you chose to do this to your crew. You.
What was that moment? I want to know that there was an actual reason.
There was resistance to the plan. Mutiny. We had to take a hard line to keep order. And things settled down. As the decay set in, we made sure the crew were comfortable. Some even seemed happier. Ignorance is bliss, right? And they were grateful for guidance, like an instinct. Pure authority was easy, at first. Months in, the effect lowered inhibitions. They got territorial. Rank, protocol, they couldn't understand. We had to establish dominance. After a while, the perks seemed normal.
That's it? You created a harem and played king? 10 years in a juvenile fantasy?
I can't point to where it all went wrong. But when the beacon was ready, revealing what happened didn't seem like a good idea.
What happened to the other officers?
Anders found his conscience a little late to step back. He had an accident. Things got tense. End of the day, I was the one with the mechs. I got a little basic in setting examples. But I was kind to my people once things settled down. Seemed like I'd earned some peace.
You fought over people like they were toys. Things.
So really, BioWare? Another character named Anders had some ideological differences with the leadership around the area?
The stores from the ship couldn't last forever. You had to know this would end one day.
Dining for one can really stretch things out. Besides, I can think of a lot worse retirement plans than stripping down and joining the Droolers. That was before the Hunters, of course. Dumb or not, I'd feel it if they got their hands on me now. They want blood. I'd prefer to keep it.
It's all about you. Everything.
You didn't feel any responsibility to get out of here for the sake of family?
I gave him a good start. He was a smart kid and was better off not following me. We figured that out a long time before I took jobs in deep space. And after things escalated here, it seemed best to just disappear off the galactic map.
Till you needed someone to save your ass.
What triggered the males to change and threaten you?
This planet has some strange cycles to it. I've seen some plants around I never saw before. Odd weather. Maybe some just adapted a little too well.
And if you treat them like animals, big shock. They become animals.
Well, nope. Turns out that, there's no twist here. He's exactly as scummy as it seemed like the moment we got here, basically.
There's no way I'm letting this slide, Taylor. The price will be paid.
How much? What kind of math can balance these lives? His life isn't worth pulling the damn trigger. I don't know who you are, because you're not any father I remember.
We'll secure him for an Alliance court. For every year here, he'll have 10 to think about it.
Give him all the time in the galaxy. The man who did this doesn't know right from wrong.
I'm sorry, Jacob. I did the best I could.
I'm 10 years past believing that.
Miranda quite literally has got your back, Jacob. Alright, now she... Create a shield that soaks huge amounts of damage. Oh, biotic barrier, right? Yeah. New outfits, some Ezo, good news all around. Any follow-up here? Survivors of the area being treated by Alliance personnel with additional Cerberus support. Pleased to see Taylor unharmed psychologically. By experience, Jacob Taylor has dealt with his father and is now focused solely on the mission. Yeah. I'm sure he's in a way better mood now.
Alliance ships are inbound to secure Captain Taylor and his crew, Commander. We'll be long gone by the time they get here.
Don't even give them the tail lights.
Roger that.
What do you mean it wasn't you?
Jacob, if I had leaked the information about the Gernsback, I would be smiling at your resolution of the situation. I am not smiling.
Really? Because given the result, it feels like something you'd have your hands in.
You know very little about me, Shepard. Don't presume to understand my intentions. Cerberus is ultimately about humanity. My people are valuable to me.
Fine. You didn't forward it, so who did?
I did.
Was this supposed to be a favor, or did you just want to see him squirm?
What he did with it was his own business. There was a time when it mattered to you. Sending this along seemed like keeping an old promise. I keep my promises.
Miranda, we'll discuss your liberal interpretation of security protocol in private. Shepard, Jacob.
Alright, that makes me feel good about bringing Miranda on the mission, actually. That was a nice little character moment about, those two characters actually having a bond together. Also, want to just point out the cool detail of actually having party members interact with each other in a scripted sequence. In the past game, the best you could hope for is that sometimes your party members would have a chat in the elevator. In fact, they wrote a lot of elevator conversations, to be fair. But having them interact in the main story is really cool, because it never really happens. Like, even at most, like, what? I took Garrus on the mission where we met Ashley, and Ashley said, "And Garrus?" And then Garrus had like a "damn it, Miranda" line, and then immediately they stopped interacting with each other, and that was their little capsule of, because it is hard to have a lot of interaction between characters when various characters could be or not be in the party at various times. But this is cool, because it means we develop a bond between individual characters that are not Shepard, which is important, because otherwise it feels like a weird spoked wheel of, like this entire social situation starts to feel like a spoked wheel where no one ever interacts with each other, but they're all centralized specifically around Shepard and on the axle, and that's it. But they should interact with each other, and it's cool when it happens. That's one of my favorite parts about all of Dragon Age Inquisition, is that at one point there's like a bar scene where all of your party members are just in a room together, and that's pretty cool.
You had no idea Miranda was behind this.
No, she's got a good memory. Selective, but good. I haven't thought about those days in a long time. Can't figure which promise she meant, though. Not sure I really want to know. She requires a better man than I.
You good with this, Jacob?
It's all bull, Shepard. Captain Taylor can rot in prison. Doesn't change who I am or what I know. I've already mourned the man he used to be. I guess he was a good enough father that even he can't screw up what he taught me.
Come on, we got work to do.
Aye, Commander. Shepard. Thanks for the help.
Anytime, Jacob.
I actually find myself wondering if I find myself kind of wishing that those two characters were actually like romantically involved in the story too. That'd be kind of a nice detail. One thing that BioWare shies away from is that because they love so much to have their characters all be, well, at least a large chunk of the characters they like to have be all like possible romance interests for either one gender or the other of the main character. So he gets a more yellow and black costume from this. So many characters are supposed to be potential love interests for the main character, depending on their gender. It often feels like they aren't allowed to interact enough, and it'd be kind of cool if there was at some point in a BioWare game, if some of the characters were a couple. In fact, what if taking certain characters on missions together would lead to them bonding with each other, and what if something like this between Jacob and Miranda, for example, happened organically? Just spitballing here, because there's a new Mass Effect coming out, and I'm just thinking about mechanics that would be kind of really, really cool to potentially see. I have no idea how much they will or won't innovate in the next game, and I look forward to it. I haven't even watched a trailer yet. I know nothing about Andromeda aside from the fact that it takes place with a group of people that I believe left sometime before Mass Effect 3 or something. The important thing is I think the one thing I know is that it's supposed to be like a side story where it's like it's offshooting to a separate thing, basically.
Thanks for diverting to the Gurns back, Shepard. I appreciate being able to clean up that mess. Maybe not the best way to learn about the relatives, but I'm glad it's done. What do you need?
I'm interested in getting to know you better.
Already? I'm not big on forcing these talks, Shepard. Let's do this later.
We'll talk later.
That's it for now. Right, it just clicked for me, because I really haven't thought about it at all, but Andromeda Galaxy is a separate galaxy, because this game takes place in the Milky Way galaxy.
Commander, you've received a new message at your private terminal.
It really is a super separate thing then. That's really far away, separate from everything else in the entire game. Cerberus Intel, Commander Shepard, contacting you per elusive man's instructions. He believed that you'd want to know that he had ordered Subject Zero's project shut down before the riot broke out. Cerberus personnel arrived to find all guards dead, along with most of the subjects. Any surviving children were treated for injuries, given mild amnesic treatments, and delivered to Alliance facilities as survivors of slaver attacks. A few surviving doctors were forcibly retired for their role in the project. Per your report, the facility on Pragia has been destroyed. Yeah, no. That's his go-to. That's his. I think that is all of his forced plausible deniability. Is that he always likes to say, "Oh, I didn't know about that," or "I'd already ordered it shut down when that bad thing happened," and like so on. He always has an excuse for why it's happening. But too much shit goes down under his watch for any of it to be nearly as excusable and deniable as he wants us to think.